Now, Rav Wasserman says in the section of the same part, section Yud Gimel, 13, says in a generation in which the son of David comes, meaning the generation of Mashiach, the face of the people will be as that of the face of a dog. This, he's quoting a very famous Gemara from Masechet Sotah, page 49b, and also Masechet Sanhedrin, page 98. Now he's going to give us the commentary on what does it mean, Pnei Ador ke Pnei HaKelev. Many Chachamim have delved into this and have giving it new insights of how you see the generation of the Mashiach is the generation of the face of the generation is the face of a dog. One time I showed you guys that scientifically it's also true, where many people tend to look like their dogs. If you get a headshot of the dog, headshot of the people, they look alike. It's unbelievable. Strange, but unbelievable. Another aspect of it is that a dog has no manners whatsoever, has no shame whatsoever, and does his thing everywhere. The generation today, Hashem Yishmor v'Yatzil, they do their business anywhere. And I don't just mean they do their business as far as the bathroom business. I mean all business. All business is open for business. Hashem Yishmor. No shame whatsoever. Someone, we were leaving the house today to run an errand, and some woman just came into my parking lot and came out. And as soon as she came out, I saw that she has the outfit of a dolphin. So my wife's like, well, yes, the little lady, yes. She's like, oh, can I give you this flag? She gave me like a United States flag or something like that. No, we don't need a flag. Okay. And she's just standing there like a whale. She thought maybe I'd throw her a fish or something. My wife got so upset, she wanted to yell at her. Like, how do you walk around like this? How do you walk around like this? She says, if we weren't in a hurry, I would have yelled at her. She didn't have the shame to walk around like this. But that's, to her now, to the woman, she didn't do a single thing wrong. In fact, she thinks she did a nice thing. I was offering them a nice thing. I came over there to give them something. Now what's the problem? What? The way you're dressed? Yeah, it's brand new. This shirt cost me $390. What shirt? Which shirt? You're not wearing a shirt. No, this is DKNY. This is Versace. This is Bachi. This is all types of cheese. Well, you should get at least half off because the shirt is half. She thinks she is dressed to impress. And most women walking around today with what the previous generation called underwear, most women that walk around today think that they're doing nothing wrong by walking around showing somewhere between 50 to 80% of their skin. They think there's nothing wrong with it. And today, it's so shameless that it's not even a matter of attraction or being lustrous or anything. It's anyone. Anyone. Logically speaking, if, let's say, someone is just, so beautiful and wants to show their stuff to the whole world because they want to, get hired for some job that's the oldest profession in the world, then okay. But when you're talking about someone that literally just left the zoo, her and Free Willy are best friends, and she's walking around like that, you don't understand. Like, where did you get the mirror? Where did you get the mirror that told you that you could wear that? You should get a refund. How many mirrors are there, by the way? Because how do you fit? Where did you get this stuff? But, Rabotai, you're laughing. It's true, it's 100%. I'm just saying what's in your heads also. You don't understand what's going on with these people. And they walk around, mamash, unbelievable. Now, This has always been absurd. I've always found this absurd my whole life. But it's more absurd today than ever because you're seeing some of this also in the Jewish world. You're seeing this in a non-Jewish world. You're seeing this in a religious world. You're seeing this in a non-religious world. In fact, it's come to the point where if you are modest, the way the Torah says, people tell you, you look weird. I've had quite a few young women tell me, listen, I don't know, I got a whole new wardrobe and my friends were shocked. I said, why are they shocked? Well, because they said I look strange. I said, why? Because you have clothes on? That's strange to them? They should try it. But that's the thing. If you don't have a clear understanding of what's appropriate and what's not, the foolishness around you could easily confuse you. Now if you're going to come to the rabbis, you're going to be disappointed. Why? Rav Wasserman tells us that the generation of Mashiach, pnei ador kepnei hakelev. Pnei ador kepnei hakelev. How does this connect to the rabbis? Rav Wasserman says it's a characteristic of the dog to run before its master. And it would seem that it goes on its own free will. The master following in obedience to the wishes of the dog. That's what it seems like. The guy is walking his dog, but the dog's running ahead of him, and it looks like the guy is actually following the dog. But in reality, we know that the reverse is true. The owner goes where he likes, and the dog, while preceding him, obeys his whim. Should the master choose another direction, straight away the dog turns also, and again proceeds to run ahead. Very simple. People walk around irresponsibly with no leash, because they think that their dog is everybody's dog. And they walk around, and the dog runs in front of them. Now, they don't care about the fact that other people are scared of dogs, or their dog may be scary. They walk. Dog's running. Now, it looks like the dog is running the show because the guy's following him. But in reality, if the guy decides to stop and turn around, little Rusty is going to turn around and follow him also. Right? That's what happens. So even though it looks like the dog is really leading the show, it's really the master. Now, in normal years, Rav Wasserman continues, when the people listened to the ruling of the Torah, the Geulah, the sages, led the way. The Geulah decided the direction to be taken, and the people walked in their footsteps. The rabbi said, the people did. That's how it was for over 3,000 years. Even during the worst times, there were always some people that were religious, that were good. Rabbi says, they do. That's how it's always been. But in the years approaching the coming of Mashiach, something's going to change. What's changed? The sovereignty of the Torah will be usurped. The masses will choose their way as well as they can, and their leaders run ahead of them like the dog before the master. In the name of Rabbi Yisrael Misalant, which is who Rav Wasserman is quoting here, he says that throughout all of the years, the Gedolim, the sages, the Talmidei Chachamim, they led the way. They said, okay, we're going to start a community here. Everybody came. From now on, no more Chalav Akum. No more using the milk of the Goyim, only Chalav Yisrael. Why? We have enough money to do it, and so on and so forth. Which, by the way, as a side note, is a misunderstanding that many people had, and I had myself for some time, that the Psak by Rav Moshe Feinstein, that you're allowed to have the milk of the non-Jews as long as it's a kosher. I always thought for some time that, as long as it's kosher, you could have it. Even though it's raised by the Goyim and so on, it's supervised by rabbis, it's kosher, no problem. Because Rav Moshe Feinstein said, you're allowed. He only said that if there's no way to get Chalav Yisrael. Meaning, if you go to a supermarket If you go to the supermarket and you have two choices, you have kosher milk by some non-Jewish company, and you have Chalav Israel, you are obligated to buy Chalav Israel. Now, if there's no Chalav Israel, but the other milk is kosher, allowed, no problem, no problem. But if you have access to Chalav Israel, have to buy it, have to get that. So, when Rav Moshe Feinstein said it, people initially understood clearly what I just said, and that's what they did. As time passed, all of a sudden they forgot the second part. Forgot the second part. That, yeah, no, the other milk is okay, you can just buy it whenever you want, even if you have Chalav Israel, because I really like this one, especially since it's like half the price, and this and that. And that's what happens. It says, throughout all of history, the Gedolim ran the show, and the people followed. But in the generation before Mashiach, the Torah will be embarrassed, the Torah will be ignored, the Torah will be disgraced, because the masses will choose their way as well as they can, and the leaders run ahead of them like a dog. Meaning that the rabbis of this generation look like they're leading. They look like they're leading. Just came out with a new book. Oh wow, who came out with a new book? Oh, Rav Kanievsky came out with a new book. Psh, wow. Wow, Rav Kanievsky came out with a new book. Wow, Yishtabach Shemo, yeah, Rav Kanievsky. Sarah Torah. Sarah Torah, Geulah Dor, finishes the entire Shas Bavli, Shas Yerushalmi, the Zohar, the Midrashim. Alvai, in my life, I'll finish as much Torah as he does in 1 year. Alvai. Yeah, Rav Kanievsky, you say Rav Kanievsky, people start to shiver. But then you say, but you know, lady, you follow Rav Kanievsky? Yeah, Rav Kanievsky, best biggest rabbi in the world. Okay. You know, Rav Kanievsky said that you're not allowed to wear a wig, right? Yeah, but I have my own rabbi. Wait, hold on a second. What? You just said for the last half hour you gave no end to the amount of compliments to Rav Kanievsky. But the second I told you that Rav Kanievsky says that the wigs, right now, since most of them are coming from India, he wrote a psak halacha, not allowed. Wigs not allowed. Because they're coming from India. And that's after there's a video of him that we publicized also, of him saying in his own words, you don't even need the writing, you can see his own words saying it, any wig that looks like real hair is forbidden. You said Rav Kanievsky, that's who you hold by, right? That's the biggest rabbi in the world, right? No? Yeah, but I have my local rabbi. But the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe said it's okay. What does that have to do with anything? First of all, you didn't. Second, what does that have to do with anything? You just said Rav Kanievsky is Geulah Dor. How come he's only Geulah Dor when it's not relevant to you? So as big as Rav Kanievsky is, as big as Rav Mutzafi is, as big as the Rishon LeZion is, as big as all of the rabbis that we have left in the world are, the reality is we don't have any unity whatsoever. People are simply making them look like they're the leaders, but in reality doing whatever they want. You have entire Sephardic communities. They say, no, who do you hold? You're Sephardic. Yeah. So you go by Rav Ovadia. Yeah, 100%. So how come almost 90% of the women in your community are wearing wigs? Rav Ovadia says not allowed. Yeah, but we have, what there was, another rabbi said it is allowed. Yeah, but you just said that you follow Rav Ovadia. You said you follow Rav Ovadia. You said Rav Ovadia is Kodesh Kodashim. He's the Moshe Rabbeinu of the last few hundred years. So why does it, when it came to this, you don't follow? Why are you talking like that? Why are you being so aggressive? Why are you doing, what does that have to do with anything? I'm asking you a question. And that's what happens, Rabotai. Unfortunately, Rabotai, Rav Wasserman told us something that we've known all along. In the generation before Mashiach, the giants of the generation, the Gedolim of the generation, unfortunately are going to be treated like dogs. Dogs that look like they're leading the way, but in reality, it's just for looks. The masters are going to be the people that have the money. The people that are in the Geulah, the community. People are going to do whatever they want. You tell them a big rabbi just came out with a book and say, okay, I'll buy it. 3 months later, so what do you think of that book? No, I didn't get a chance to read it. But you bought it. Why don't you read it? I have it when I get a chance. So what are you reading now? Not so much. I'm busy with work. Also, you're reading nothing, but you have 800 books in your house. So why don't you just open a library? Books are to read, not to have as a collection. They're not furniture.